Hey guys, my name is Josh and I'm going to be doing a quick tutorial on jump starting a car with a dead battery. For the purpose of this tutorial, the car on the right has a dead battery. In order to jump start a car, you will need a set of jump cables and also another car with a good battery. To begin with, you want to ensure that both cars are parked in a safe area away from oncoming traffic. You will then want to ensure that both cars are switched off. So here we're going to make sure that the car with the dead battery is switched off and that any electrical devices inside, such as the light here, is switched off. Then make sure that the car is in neutral and that the handbrake is up. Remove the key for safety and then open the bonnet so you can access the positive and negative terminals of the battery. Most new cars will have the battery at the front of the car in the engine bay. However, be aware that there are some cars where the battery is housed in the boot of the vehicle. Other than positioning, this should not make a difference to jump starting a car. Finally, ensure that there's enough space between the cars that they're not touching, but close enough that the jump cables will reach between the two batteries. In both these cars, the car battery is housed in the boot of the vehicle. However, there is a substitute positive terminal at the front of this car. When grounding the car with the dead battery, avoid any parts with paint. Instead, look for a part with exposed metal. Now we will need to locate the good battery in the donor vehicle. Be aware that in some cars, the battery may have a case that needs to be removed. If your car does have a case with the battery, set it aside somewhere safe where you can easily find it. Here you can see the battery, and here we can see the positive and the negative terminals of the good battery. So now we're going to move on to getting the jump cable so we can start the jump starting process. Make sure that the cables are untangled before starting. I'm going to start off with the red positive terminal of the dead battery. Make sure that you have a solid connection and move on to the red positive terminal of the good battery. So again, a solid connection. Now moving on to the black jump cable. You'll want to start off with the good battery, connecting it to the negative terminal of the good battery, and finishing with the grounding point of the dead car, so the exposed metal piece that you found earlier. Seeing a spark while making the final connection is normal. Now that we've connected the cables, we will move on to starting the car with the good battery. Remember when starting the car to make sure that the car is in neutral and that the handbrake is up. Once the car has been started, give a few minutes for the good car to charge the dead car before going over to the dead car to start its engine. Quick tip: if you want to check whether the cables have been fitted the right way round, switch on the fog light of the car with the dead battery and see whether they switch on. If they do, the cables have been fitted right. Again, before starting the engine, check that the car is in neutral. If the engine does not turn over, give the car a few minutes and then rev the engine of the car with the good battery before re-attempting to switch on the car with the bad battery. Once the car engine turns on, make sure that any electrical devices are switched off and let the car engine run for a few minutes. Now that the engine is running, we will remove the cables that we've connected in reverse order, starting with the black grounding cable and then the black negative terminal of the good battery. We will then move on to the red positive terminal of the good battery and finally the red positive terminal of the bad battery. Remember to replace any casings that you've removed at the start of the jump start. So guys, that was a quick video on how to jump start a car with a dead battery. Remember to close the bonnet and the boot of the vehicle that you used.